weekly dose of politics,
snark, and heavy metal music.
All rise, motherfucker.
for your hosts, Brandon
And Matt.
Hide the rum.
Performer hasn't been provided with a script. As a matter of fact, I have been permitted to choose my own words and discuss my own ideas regarding the choice that we face in the next few weeks. I have spent most of my life as a Democrat. I recently have seen fit to follow another course.
The defense policy of the United States is based on a simple premise. The United States does not start fights. We will never be an aggressor.
As for the peace that we would preserve, I wonder who among us would like to approach the wife or mother whose husband or son has died in South Vietnam and ask them if they think this is a peace that should be maintained indefinitely. There can be no real peace while one American is dying someplace in the world for the rest of us. We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the founding fathers.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You and I must protect and preserve freedom here, or it will not be passed on to our children, and it will disappear everywhere in the world.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. Regardless of their sincerity, their humanitarian motives, those who would trade our freedom for security have embarked on this downward course. They knew that governments don't control things. A government can't control the economy without controlling people. And they know when a government sets out to do that, it must use force and coercion to achieve its purpose.
We, the people. We, the people, tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We, the people, are the driver. The government is the car. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do.
This administration in Washington has betrayed the working men and women of this country.
I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts.
A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. And recovery is when President of the United States loses his.
Someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. The martyrs of history were not fools. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Hey, I'm ready to start the show.
I'm ready too.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the machine. I am Brandon.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm in a rare good mood, so don't fuck it up. Believe me, it's exceedingly rare. And the lighting, for some reason, dude, if I turn this up, I'm gonna get a fucking more of a tan than I already have.
Say you look like you're in the shadows. I say even on YouTube.
Yeah, but like I said, if I turn this thing up any higher, I mean, my eyeballs are already on fire. I should be wearing sunglasses under this bitch. Okay, so I guess that's as good as it's gonna get. This is true. My blood moves too fast. It's usually too thin. I eat a lot of garlic and drink bourbon, so. Okay, so which cigar did I give you over there? Which one is that?
The Blondie.
See, he gets the Blondie cigar, and apparently I get the one that kind of I don't know. I just see that just smells fucking beautiful. Mm-hmm. That smells like a proper cigar. This one here, which is an Olivia cigar, apparently Gold Series, maybe. I imagine this smells like, well, it's hard to describe. I'm going with 75-year-old pensioner that has 13 chihuahuas or some shit and never washes her clothes. Does it not smell like a fucking dank, nasty apartment?
Yes. Yeah, it smells like... See, I've worked heat and air before.
Ass.
I've been in apartments that have smelt like this.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It smells like a 75-year-old crazy lady with 8 dogs that never washes her clothes. I'm telling you, that's what it smells like. It smells like hot, sick sweat and dog shit. I'm afraid to fucking light it. But I'm gonna. Seriously, how do they make them smell this bad? Fucking smelling nursing home diapers. Dude, how does it fucking smell worse just by cutting it? Seriously, now smell it.
Really? Smells like somebody shit in the end of it.
And I'm gonna be fucking smoking this. See, this is how it ended up, man. Oh no, man, it's that bad. Matt says, "Get it down. It can't be that bad." Bullshit. Even he's like, "Dude, I ain't fucking smoking." I handed both cigars to him before the show, and I said, "Which one of you want?" He goes, "Not that one." I'm like, seriously, fucker.
I'm like, you can be the guinea pig. I don't even want to light the damn thing. Hopefully, it'll smell better once it's lit. Don't worry, I have problems with those matches when I use it.
I was like, dude, even the fucking match is like, I don't want to be near that damn thing. It tastes less like shit.
No, that's a plus.
Yeah, just a little less, but... Yeah, I've definitely had better. But it's not bad. It's actually not bad in flavor, but it stinks like an asshole.
That's good. I was really hoping it wasn't going to be that bad.
Yeah, it smells like three-day-old sweaty ass crack, but it's... Don't worry, I ain't got herpes. It's syphilis. It's not herpes.
So the rye will take care of that.
Yeah. Sorry, this is how we, the show takes a minute to get going.
Okay.
It's not a bad flavor.
It's not bad.
It just smells like death.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's wrapped in jockstrap.
Mm.
I mean, but it tastes good. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. It stinks like ass, but it tastes great. All right. Fuck. I'm gonna have a bad night. It's gonna be a bad night. You know what? Fuck this. My camera's getting shut off. You're on your own. I don't even know how to shut my own fucking camera off. Every once in a while, we like to enjoy a cigar. Unfortunately, this cigar is not as enjoyable as I thought it was going to be. Oh, it's that bad. It's like logs of shit. But I believe it or not, it actually does. It doesn't taste bad though, does it, Matt?
Yeah, I say it's one of those things like once it's lit, it's actually not bad.
No, it actually does taste quite good. But anyhow, let's get started here so people don't run off on us like they usually do.
Angie, that's because I have my over 40 eyes on because I'm fucking can't read shit anymore.
Oh, by the way, my history people, you're going to love the ashtray. It's only a cut down 105. Yeah, I definitely enjoy the ones that the acid brands better.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd even go for a good Cohiba, but this is just, it's not bad. I don't hate it now, but it's not going to be my first choice. If I go get another one, it ain't going to be this.
It was like when you were having me pick, I'm like, why is that one so fucking big? You're like, I don't know, I just grabbed it. Dude,
I looked down, I was like, cigar. I was like, I grabbed an acid and I was like, oh, that one we haven't tried before. Now we figured out the reason why. Anyhow, we should probably get going, huh?
Probably.
I mean, we've had some interesting things happen lately, haven't we? Kind of. I mean, not just in the news cycle. I'm talking about in our own personal lives. The Wendy's incident for me was probably the best one. So, before we get started with the political shit, let's just get into this. Actually, it is technically partially political, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is partially political. She made it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, I decided we decided we wanted some Wendy's for food. So we're driving through I'm driving through Wendy's, and I've still got from the 4th of July, because I'm lazy and haven't taken it off my fucking truck, a 3x5 American flag off the back, or off the side, sorry. And so I'm driving through the Wendy's line, and I look over because I see movement, and this lady's staring at me. And I've got this nervous thing that I do when somebody stares at me is I fucking wave. Somebody's staring at me like, how you doing? And so I do that, and she gives me this nasty look and starts being kind of, starts mouthing something to me and then flips me off. And I stop in the middle of the line. I'm like, is there a fucking, I asked her nicely. I was like, is there a problem here, ma'am? And she looks at me and she goes, fuck that ugly flag and fuck you for flying it. And I'm like, I wouldn't, I took one look at her. I said, honey, you'd be the last person to ever say anything about anything being ugly. I was like, bitch, you look like Grimace. And those of you who don't know, Grimace is a fat purple butt plug. He's shaped like a butt plug. So picture a giant woman that looks like she's smuggling a fucking spare tire, underneath of a purple onesie. This is what was yelling at me. And I looked at her and said, by the way, bonus points for having the Kool-Aid dyed hair and 3.5 teeth. And boy, that lit her up. She was just a cussing me out. And I looked at what was funny though. I mean, a guy halfway at the line, she's still cussing me out. The guy behind me's fucking laughing his ass off. He's like, "That's great, dude." He's like, "Fucking Grimace." I'm like, "Yep." She looks like Grimace. And the whole time, me and him is yelling back and forth. She's still yelling back and forth at us. But it was a good time. I guess she decided, to be an asshole. We don't really get that around here. That was the first time I had one about the American flag.
Yeah. It is kind of rare in our area.
Christina says, "Martha, I swear, the far right extremists waved at me in the drive-thru." You're not wrong. Oh yeah, she was letting me have it, and I'm just the more she said, I wasn't even listening at the end of it. I was just laughing, and even one of the workers kind of because she was, I guess, still barking. I can't hear over my fucking truck. I can hear that there's something, but I don't know. I can't make it out. And even the fucking guy who handed me my food just kind of leans out the window, going, "What the fuck is that?" He leans out the drive-through window and he goes back in. He's like, "Okay, whatever." I didn't care, but. So that was one of my interesting things. The other one was we finally did the car show up on the square. We brought the race car up there.
Did you?
Yep. And before we get into the good part of it, the bad part of it was we parked it on the corner close to the restaurant because it's a race car. We didn't really want to have to fire it up, but we decided it'd be easier to fire it up than to push it up fucking uphill. And with no power steering, that thing will not turn. So it's, So I talked to 2 or 3 people holding flags, and I'm like, "Okay, race car, this corner." They're like, "Yeah, okay." I was like, "So it's cool if we park at this corner." Yeah. So we fire the thing up. He gets towards the corner, I get ready to, because they can't see to back up. So I grab the steering wheel, and we're getting ready to back him up. And this flagman comes running over, and it's not the ones that I was talking to. He's like, "You need to get in line like everybody else." I'm like, "Say that again?" "You need to get that car in line like everybody else." I'm like, "So you're telling me you want us to take a fucking race car around the town square?" Aside from this being like a childhood wet dream, it's also very stupid because you've got cars that are worth about $70,000 in front of us, and we don't stop so good. We're meant to go fast. And he's like, "Get in line." So we get him in line. Okay, it happens. He's pulling on the other side of the square. And those cars that are, they're notorious for loading up fuel. Mm-hmm. So you got to burp them, whop, whop. So he did the whop, whop. And I guess I didn't see it, but I guess the guy that was standing over there pointed the flag at him and, shook it at him and shit. And so my cousin, being the good-natured guy that he is, he'd pull the car forward and just fucking kill it. And he got close to where we were going to be, and he did it again. He killed it because he was waiting. And I finally asked him, I was like, "Why'd you kill it?" And fucker's going out. One moment. So we get him back in, we get the car there, and I was like, "So why do you keep killing it?" He's like, "Oh, I got yelled at for the noise." I'm like, "At a car show, you got yelled at for the noise for being an engine?" He's like, "Yes." I was like, "There's 2 fucking drag cars sitting right there on the corner." "Yeah, well, they didn't like this one." I'm like, "I don't fucking care." And right in front of 2 of the flagmen, I was like, "Next time somebody points that flag at you and says, 'Calm that down,' or bitches about the noise, give it the fucking beans." And he's like, "What?" And I said, "Hit that fucking rev limiter. Hit that chip. 8,500 RPMs of fucking straight fury. All 850 fucking horsepower. Let them bark." And he just looks at me and he's like, "Huh, didn't think about it that way." And one of the flag dudes is like, "He's right though." I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck?" I was like, first we get screwed out of the parking spot. Then we get told we got to drive around the square, and then we get yelled at for driving around this fucking square. I was like, "It's like pulling petals off a daisy with you fucking people." And he's like, "I don't know why they did that." And I'm like, "Well, that won't happen again." I said, "Next time we bring the car, if we have to drive it around the square, you're going to get the beans." That's all. And then and then we walked off. What was cool about it though was we were the only car on the square that allowed kids to get in the car.
Really? But you were the big attraction.
You know how everybody else didn't want nobody in near the car?
Mm-hmm.
We were letting the kids walk up. Not only we were putting them in the car, we were putting the harnesses over them and giving them the steering wheel so they can take a picture like they're racing the car.
That's badass.
They were having a blast. And yeah, we became really popular really quick because everybody got to play with a race car. But all right, so I'm way the hell cussed you through assault. Yeah, through her 3.5. She had a half. I'm gonna give her that. Fuck, I lost all my teeth and she had more than I had more than she did.
That's bad.
But what kind of bourbon in the jelly jar tonight? We are doing Wallersheim Round Top Rye whiskey. It's probably the only rye whiskey you're ever going to find that has an actual flavor to it that doesn't just taste like pure alcoholic ass. We've had one of those. We've had several of those actually where it was not a good whiskey. It kind of insulted anybody who drinks bourbon. But it's really good stuff. Well, Angie, we were so popular that we were actually asked to come back by people. So we're going to show up at the next one. They do it once a month. First Friday of every month, I think.
See, I didn't know they were doing it once a month. I just happened to know the past couple of months I would get out.
There've
like
been
I was
cars.
needing to cut across, and there was like cars up there, and I'm like, oh, I'll just go around.
Italian makes good beer.
I was getting ready to ask that too. Those two words just don't
Usually
like
go
they-
together. Yeah, it's usually wine in Italy. You're gonna have to let me know what that is though, so I can try and find it and taste it. Well, you know what? It was a lot of fun. It was what made it worth it for us to be up there. Honestly, not only was everybody wanting to take a picture of the car because it was the only race car there. Legit race car.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there was drag cars there, but they had plates on. They were, I'm talking like legit, full-fledged, just nothing but race. But we were the only ones that was letting anybody touch the car, and I was like, I would shy them away from certain areas, like the back right quarter panel. It's a little sharp, It has a tendency to get its ass kicked. It gets bent up and it smacks the wall, and
that's fair.
yeah. I know Italians have been making beers for centuries, damn it. Who do you think passed it down to the Joymans? Anyhow, but I was just making the joke. But it was a lot of fun to see. These kids were having a blast. And what was really cool? This little girl, I think it was like junior miss maybe, getting ready to run for the pageant, was wearing a dress and everything, wanted to take a picture with the car. She actually wanted to get in the car like the other ones, but she was not allowed because I understand.
Yeah.
Because it is a race car. It's a dirt race car. It may have still had some dirt on the inside. I wouldn't want to ruin the poor girl's dress.
Right.
But what was cool about it was she pointed at the side of the car. She goes, I really like this guy. This guy's awesome and everything else like that. I'm going, yeah, it's the show's fucking logo. I'm like, this is awesome. And I walked up to the mother and I was like, that's my logo. She's like, what? And I showed her my arm. She goes, oh. I was like, yeah, that's actually my logo. She's like, well, my daughter really likes it. And I was like, don't let her listen to the show. That's all I said. But anyhow, enough about the weekend. What'd you do? My weekend. What'd you do?
What I do? I spent most of my weekend working on cosplay shit for Fan Expo next month.
I told you he was gay. Nobody believes me. I'm telling you, he likes to cock. No, what were you working on this time? I know you were working on a suit, but
Boba Fett. So I have all the armor 3D printed. I have it all ready to be primed and painted now. And then after that, I can start attaching it to the suit.
sweet.
So I'm pretty excited.
I thought about getting a suit too, but I've got a perfectly good skin suit. Do you think they'd get upset if I wore it?
So, thing about Fan Expo. So the women up there, when they cosplay, don't really wear much of anything.
Yeah, but they at least wear something. I'm talking about just walking in butt naked, like, hey, how you doing? Who are you? I'm the Invisible Man.
Well, dude, C2E2, my mind fucking went blank. The movie where the guy had the whipped cream around his crotch and he was dressed as that. There was one cosplayer up there like that.
I like it.
And I'm like, dude, that's hilarious.
Did he have to refill himself all the time, though? I mean,
It looked like it was done with, like, resin, but the way it was painted, it looked real.
oh, okay.
So, yes, Angie, I am a geek, but I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So,
I had one for that, but I was going to leave it alone.
Drone.
Hey, Drone, what's going on? Dude, I think I'm about done with this thing. I mean, it's not bad, but I'm not getting it again.
That's fair. It's one I don't think I could actually sit and, like...
It's not a sit and
Smoke.
enjoy. That one's a
Right.
sit and enjoy. This one's not. I'm going to go back to the fucking vape after that. No, I was gonna say, so how's Captain Picard?
No, that's an insult. Man.
Dude, I used to do that all the time. Like, somebody'd say something about Star Wars, and like, I was like, yeah, my favorite is Captain Picard, and they're like, huh? I was like, I'm just fucking kidding.
Well, like, for those that have watched, like, The Mandalorian, there's a bunch of actors and actresses going to be at Fan Expo this year, so, like, I'm really excited.
So who's gonna? I mean, is Margot Robbie gonna be there? Or no,
No.
it's too bad.
They've got some big names, though, up there. Like, they just dropped Lou Diamond Phillips, Kiefer Sutherland,
Really? Okay, Kiefer Sutherland.
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
Yeah, he's going to be up there, dude. He's, like, one of my big ones I want to
Yeah.
go see.
Who doesn't want to meet Machete?
Yeah. Well, he's like part of the Star Wars universe now.
Is he really?
Yeah, he was one of the Rancor keepers in The Mandalorian, and I was so excited to see that.
Nah, I already am half mental. I don't need to put weed in anything. Purr. Hey, Purr's here with us too.
Hey, Per.
Hey, guess who's back, Purr? Sherman's back. We thought we were worried about him because of all the fun that Paris has been having, and he just suddenly disappears. Like, did he get pinched, shot in the ass, set himself on fire with a Molotov? Because there seemed to be a lot of that going on. You know, we should probably take a break, huh? We were just bullshitting
Damn,
about
it's been almost 30 minutes.
We spent 30 minutes talking about absolutely nothing, and you fuckers stayed with us. We love you. All right, we'll be right back.
This is the hell we create. They cover the throne and take away everything. No mercy for the ones who break their backs. Weak conviction, fragile sovereignty. No hope, nurtured into the vision. Looking for light and alone in peril. Our ending hours are knocking down our door. Running straight into the end. Eroding
What you listening to?
The Machine Radio Show.
What did you say?
I didn't stutter. I said,
The Machine Radio Show.
You just blew my mind.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the show.
And we're back, and I gotta. We're gonna save that one audio for later, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Should we go with the good doctor?
Sure.
Let's go with the doctor. Okay, so we've for what, quite a while now, we've been talking out against the community. Not, and we got to say this over and over and over again because it seems to not sink into people's heads. We're not against transgenders. We're not against gays. We're not against lesbians. We're not against bisexuals. No, we're against the community that misrepresents them. And we believe, at least I believe, I can't speak for Matt, that this whole pronouns thing and this overage of transgenderism is nothing but a fad, and it's dangerous to children.
Yeah.
When are we going to admit that this is a mental illness issue? But one of the doctors that I've been listening to off and on has a lot to say, actually, and she says it well. And we saved it so that you could hear it as well.
My name is Miriam Grossman. I'm a board-certified child, adolescent, and adult psychiatrist, author, and senior fellow.
I'm going to restart that first 10 seconds because that's extremely important on who she is and what her expertise is.
My name is Miriam Grossman. I'm a board-certified child, adolescent, and adult psychiatrist, author, and senior fellow at Do No Harm. I have been taking care of patients for 45 years. I'm going to use my time to respond to Dr. Matt.
45 years.
Damn.
Let that sink in.
That's a long time. That's a lot of experience right there.
And she's also at the top of, in terms of her profession. She's in the top 5. And that's not me saying that because I like what she says here. That's her colleagues, and this is what her specialty is.
McNamara. First, I'm struck by her use of the phrase sex assigned at birth. Sex is not assigned at birth.
No.
Sex is established at conception, and it's recognized at birth, if not earlier. Dr. McNamara claims that her views are science-based, but to claim that sex is assigned at birth is without any scientific basis whatsoever.
She's right.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta respond to constitutionalist. He says that's my whole life. Well, most of us guys, we spend 9 months getting out, and the rest of our lives trying to get back in. But that's besides the point. Let's keep going.
Its language misleads people, especially children, into thinking that male and female are arbitrary designations and can change. That is simply not true. Dr. McNamara claims that social and medical interventions are the only evidence-based treatment and that scientific evidence shows it is life-saving. Without it, she's warning us, kids will commit suicide. Well, a growing number of countries have effectively banned the care to which she's referring. And thank God there's been no wave of suicides or other mental health catastrophes. 3 years ago, Finland placed strict limitations on medical interventions for minors. Sweden did the same thing.
Yes, I didn't know about Finland. I actually did not hear that, but I knew about Sweden. Sweden, I knew, because I'd heard. We got a Swedish person in our chat who's talking about this doctor's beach balls. Dude, she's been working as a therapist for 45 years. She was probably in her mid-20s when she got her. Hey, if you want to knock the dust off that shit, you're good. But I mean, yeah, listen to what she's saying though. I mean, it makes complete sense. We've still got like 3 minutes and 29 seconds of this. But so far, she is not saying anything that we haven't said before. We just don't have the doctorate to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
After a 14-year-old girl was found to have osteoporosis and spinal fractures from puberty blockers.
14-year-old girl. And they said this was one of the side effects of puberty blockers. But that conversation is never allowed to be had because that'd be considered bad against, what they're pushing. They don't want you to know that there's severe side effects like it being completely altering your body chemistry for the rest of your life. There's nothing. She's going to explain. I'm just going to let it go.
An investigation concluded, quote, the risks of anti-puberty and hormone treatment for those under 18 currently outweigh the possible benefits. The UK conducted a review and called the evidence very low. They've also placed severe restrictions on the care that Dr. McNamara calls life-saving. Norway also analyzed the data and has made similar changes in policy. The National Academy of Medicine in France warned, quote, great medical caution must be taken in children and adolescents given the vulnerability of this population and the many undesirable, even serious complications the therapies cause. Doctors in New Zealand and Australia have published similar statements. Is Dr. McNamara suggesting that all these countries are rejecting evidence-based treatment and placing their kids at risk of suicide? Regarding that point of view, Finland's gender expert, Dr. Rita Kaltiela, said, quote, it's purposeful disinformation, the spreading of which is irresponsible. All 7 countries, and Florida too, of course, concluded that kids don't need their development interrupted, the girls don't need their periods stopped and their voices lowered, and the boys don't need to grow breasts.
No, because like we've talked about before, the interruption of what they want to do with these puberty blockers and stuff like that, they want to stop puberty from happening, period. What does that do to the human body? We've already talked about this over and over again on how horrible the results are of this and what it can be for the rest of their lives. This is non-reversible, as in it cannot be fucking fixed. One of the side effects, which she talked about, was osteoporosis at 14 years old. What kind of life do you... Oh, well, I feel good in my body, but I can't fucking use it. I'm stuck in this chair for the rest of my life if it's more than 40 years. This is what we're dealing with. This is the reason why we say this shouldn't happen to kids. Kids don't understand this.
Well, you were talking about her, I'm stuck in a chair, if she lives that long. But more than likely what will happen, and I hate to say it, is she'll probably commit suicide.
Which would probably already be on the mind because what is happening to them is a mental illness.
Yeah.
But it's not just them. They have their families pushing on them. They have the now the schools saying, if you feel like today, like you should be wearing a dress or something like that, then that's how you should be, and it's permanent. No, you're fucking brainwashing these kids into thinking they're something that they're not. This is the same type of shit. I'm sorry, but this is going to piss somebody off. I know it is. But I'm going to equate the indoctrination of this type of shit on kids is just as bad as what North Korea does to their fucking citizens. And what I mean by that is at one point in time, they allowed a doctor to come into North Korea and fix people's eyes. Give them sight. He was an eye doctor. This was the first time this is before the fucking little weird haircutted dude though. And they allowed this doctor to come in, and these people would get their bandages off and they'd be able to see. And they would see the doctor, and instead of shaking his hand or saying thank you or anything else like that, they'd walk to the wall and kiss the photo of the fucking leader. Because they believe that he granted them eyesight. This is the kind of shit that they're doing to fucking kids, though. This is what I'm trying to say about this. I think this is insane. I think, any parent who pushes this on their kids and runs with it, I think they're mentally deranged as well, and I think that should be child abuse. I'm sorry. I really do. There's a difference between letting kids be kids and saying, well, since you picked up that Barbie doll, you're a transgender.
Right.
And pushing that on them. And convincing them that this is their path. That's bullshit. That's not healthy. And never mind. Yeah, Munchausen by proxy, exactly. We still got a minute and 49 of the doctor. Should we let it fly? Or do you have anything to add to this?
Well, I was gonna kind of piggyback off of what you said about if they pick up a Barbie doll or even just a baby doll, it's automatically, oh, you're transgender. No, it's teaching them for that when they do become parents, they know how to handle a child, how to hold it. It's
like an instinct,
right? Yeah, and it kind of nurtures it. I mean, it's nothing to do with.
But you got
gender crisis.
You've got these fucking parents. The kids haven't even been able to say more than say a full sentence yet. They're not even learning to speak, and they're like, "My child's transgender." How the fuck do you know? That kid's still wearing diapers and can barely say its own name, and you're saying it's transgender. Or the ones that are, well, in the kindergarten. Oh, little Johnny decided to play with the fucking Barbie doll, like we said. Oh, he must be transgender. I'm gonna start dressing him, and his name's gonna be Sue now.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No. This is not normal. This is not. When are we going to admit that mental illness is taking over? And this plays into everything else that we're fucking going to talk about tonight, too, by the way. Well, thank you, Sherman. Angie says, I'm circumcised, but my cock doesn't know about it. Nick loved to play with toy cleaning and kitchen. Okay. I'm pretty sure, because of my liking food, that if I had access to a fucking Easy Bake as a child, I probably would have used it.
Dude, I had an Easy Bake. I fucking ate all the time. I learned all the time.
I learned how to cook a full fucking meal, 3-course meal by age 10. Okay, fat fuck likes food. All right, so it's it's just the thing. Let's see. I told my kids, school, if they push this, there will be problems. If my son becomes daughters, there will be consequences. Well, I can see that, especially if it's not what they're doing. The parents want the attention and the social points. Exactly. That's what it is. And that's what I mean by this is a fad. It's a popularity contest. It's these kids, they want to be recognized so badly, they're going to be like, well, today I feel like I'm a fucking turnip. Because this is what's normal for them, for nowadays, because this is what they see. They see, well, all these people are getting this, they're getting, all this fame and this, getting noticed and being worshipped if they do something fucking strange like Dylan Mulvaney. This is what they think is normal. And they're like, well, okay, I feel like I'm not being looked at enough, so I should do this. That's what's going on.
Christina made a good point, and I agree. She goes, the parents want attention and those social points. And I think that's what a lot of that is they're wanting that acknowledgement, almost like an attention whore.
Hey, I like video games too, and I'm not feminine. But I understand. She's a girl, and she likes video games, so what? I mean, there's not girl and guy video games. I mean, there is kind of, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. Skyrim, never been into it.
But
never played a single second of fucking Skyrim.
Video games make, they help build hand-eye coordination.
Yes.
big time. So
You know, I actually attributed video games to my freakish amount of peripheral vision.
yeah, I can see that.
I mean, well, you've seen me do it. I can see shit. Like, I can almost see my hand behind my fucking head. He's watched me do that. I fucked with his son while we were at the campsite. And I said something to him. He's like, how the fuck did he know that? Because I was facing you, and I could see him over here doing something. And, you know, it's just weird. But I actually attributed my dexterity and everything else like that to the... I play... Hey, just because I'm getting fucking older doesn't mean I can't have fun, okay? That's my way of winding down. Elder Scrolls. Nope, not played it.
And another good thing about video games is it relieves stress.
Especially if you played the one back in the day. You know which one I'm talking about. Leisure Suit Larry.
Yeah.
The sole purpose of Leisure Suit Larry is to get the little fucking twerp laid.
Yep.
I brought that up one time, and somebody's like, how the fuck do you remember that game? I'm like, seriously, I thought it was funny as hell. There was a couple ones on the Portal, too, that you played, that was your sole purpose, was to try and get the dude laid. It was funny as hell.
Yeah.
It was funny to me. It was a good time. Breeze Home. Yeah.
Yeah, Breeze Home is in Skyrim. It's not my favorite home though. What the ass?
Dude, how are you still lit up?
I just have a halo.
What the flying fuck is... Dude, that's some trippy shit.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah, but I suddenly got dark again. I'm not fucking with it anymore, though. If it gets any brighter, I ain't going to be able to see what I'm looking at on the screen. I like the one you're on the motorcycle and you hit people as you drive by with nunchucks. That's funny as fuck, too. I still, right now, you're going to laugh, but because I'm poor and don't have an Xbox One, I'm still playing Borderlands 2. This is like number 5 or 6 times I've went through the game. I just start picking the characters and seeing what I can fuck with. And I personally like going back at certain characters and going in there where you can shoot them in the face and watch the guy's body disappear. But then again, I still play Grand Theft Auto. There's nothing funnier than going down in the bottom of the police station, grabbing the dildo and beating people to death with it. And I'm waiting for somebody to go, well, that's kind of brainwashing, and you could... No. I have no desire to go get a giant purple cock and start beating people to death.
And out of the 4 studies that they've done on video games versus violence, they have proven that video games have the opposite effect. They actually stop active shooters because it relieves stress. Stress? What the fuck? I'm creating new words.
So is that why I play like Borderlands or Call of Duty and then go rub one out?
Yeah.
I'm like doubling up on my getting rid of my stress.
Dude, Assassin's Creed. Yes.
See, I've got Assassin's Creed and never fucking played it.
Not all of them, like the old school, like the first one and the Ezio trilogy, those are really good. Valhalla's good. The rest of them, I'm kind of like, meh.
No, well, left-handed people are in the right frame of mind, so music and art, yes, would be right-brained.
Yep.
Just don't ask how I know that. I'm left-handed. I haven't seen anything. I don't know what you're sending it to, man. I wish we had an easier way for me to get you my information without putting it right on fucking YouTube. I'm just saying. I'll look for it. I mean, just tell me what you sent it to and everything. I'll figure it out. Excuse me. But Christina, I don't even know if you know, but I actually am an artist myself. And I do some pretty fucked up shit, don't I?
Yep.
I got so many more planned, but I just can't get the materials. I'm actually not even done with the big fucker. He may be outside, but his platform's got to be built. He's supposed to look like he's walking over an apocalyptic city.
Oh, badass.
I just haven't gotten that far yet. But I'll have to agree with that. I mean, and I have a basis behind music too. Music is life. Music is, power. It's expression. It's
in its own way. It's an art form.
Music speaks where words fail.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Very well put.
You got my email address a few days ago from Tino. I hope he didn't send you one that doesn't work.
I'm like, which one?
Yeah, I've got like 300 of those fucking things. Give me just a second. I'm actually going to look and see if I got it. Domino's Pizza.
Domino's.
I don't have pizza tits. No. Although I am gaining weight. I'll even go to my spam folder. Yeah, I would say you didn't get my email address because it's not anywhere in here. But apparently we teach sexes. Spam folder. Gotta love spam folders.
You're in the spam.
Gotta love spam folders. But we still got a minute and 49 seconds of the fucking doctor. We got to get through this.
Yeah.
We kind of went off on a couple of tangents there.
What they need is psychotherapy. I have other objections to Dr. McNamara's testimony. She insists that her position, only hers, represents standard medical care. What she doesn't want you to know is that there is no standard. There's a debate. There's a fierce debate. And on the side opposite her stand such prominent figures as Stephen Levine, Kenneth Zucker, Paul McHugh, and James Cantor, among others. These doctors are giants in the field. They have been treating transgender patients and gathering data and publishing papers about them, and I mean no disrespect here, but since before Dr. McNamara was born. The point is that those veteran clinicians and others who have wisdom and experience are ignored because they disagree with the current narrative. They're
Precisely.
against medical interventions for the same reason those 7 countries are. There is no evidence of long-term benefit, but there is evidence of harm. I'll end by quoting Jamie Reed, the courageous whistleblower from the Children's Gender Clinic in St. Louis. I believe that hospital receives the medical education funding that we're discussing today. She said that doctors at that clinic said, "We are building the plane while we are flying it. We are building the plane while we are flying it." That's how they described the treatment at their gender clinic. Our precious tax dollars should not support such a perilous experiment.
Not at the expense of the children. I'm sorry. I'm going to say that over and over again. Not at the expense of the children. I am all for it if you're, once you're an adult, to make that decision. But as a kid with with an underdeveloped mind, you should not be making that kind of decision. And it's with the people that want to do this, it's like pulling petals off a fucking daisy anyway. And the reason why I say that is because it's just like with like the gun rights debate and stuff like that. They want to lower the voting age because they know that that they can indoctrinate the kids into voting for them.
Yeah.
But they're not allowed to have a firearm at that age because their brains are underdeveloped. Remember that.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with this. Well, they can make a decision to cut off their fucking schwants and take these pills and grow big, beautiful tits or whatever, and that's fine. No, it's not. They're not ready for that. They're not ready for that at all. And, they like to say, well, there's not too many that detransition. Like, no, because they're stuck that way.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's because they can't. And then, then you know what happens when they realize they can't? Most of them take their own life.
Yes. By the way, since Christine has said it, same as the vax, we're not medical experiments. Precisely. Show of hands, who still isn't vaccinated? Show of hands, who's still alive and they're not vaccinated? I thought it was the pandemic of the unvaccinated. We all should be dead by now. We're going to get gigged on YouTube because we used the word vax.
Yep. Maybe. I don't know if that's still happening or not.
No, there's a reason why, I have a formula. There's a reason why there's absolutely, if you look at the YouTube videos, the date's on there, but there's no description. Because anytime I put a description on the video, it gets gigged. I know what I'm doing.
Well, YouTube's a whore anymore.
Yes, it is. Look at that. See all those people?
Yep.
The only vaccination I've had in several years, and it's only because I have a really bad problem with cutting the fuck out of myself.
Tetanus?
Tetanus. I'm pretty sure at this point I could be the poster child for the tetanus shot. Because every time they walk in, they've got my fucking medical in their hands, and they're like, "Have you had your tetanus shot lately?" I'm like, I don't know.
Well, if you don't know, you need one.
Yep.
That's what they always
I was
tell
like,
you.
and one of the doctors like, "Oh, you got one 6 months ago." I'm like, "Well, I guess I got doubled up on, huh?" Because it's supposed to be good for like 3 or 4 years.
Yes.
I bet I've gotten one every 6 months. Yeah, I've been pin-cushioned with that shit a lot. Check my inbox. We're putting on a show, dude. You're killing me. Important. You're not in the important folder.
Is he in the spam?
He's not in that folder either. Let's see if he's in the spam folder. You are not. I don't know who you're sending it to. I don't think you got the email right. Honestly, I don't think he, because there's a certain thing in the email that makes it different than everybody else's, which is the reason why people have a hard time with it. Let me see if you sent it to my old one, the one that I haven't paid attention to, and I use it as a dump email. I'm checking. Hold on. Just calm your tits. Nope. Spam folder? Nope. Yeah, you got to be getting a mail. I don't know what's going on, but you're not getting it to me. We'll figure it out. Sooner or later. Somehow we'll figure it out. But right now, we should take a break before we get into something else, right?
Yeah, we probably should.
Okay. There was another song I wrote down. Forgot what it was.
Hey lefties, liberals and progressives, this is not a safe space. I repeat, this is not a safe space.
If you are one of those squishies who are easily offended, put on your safety pins, pussy hats, and leave this radio station. Or you can free yourself and get educated.
Well, hell yeah! I tried to twist him up, but he wouldn't have it. Hell no! This old boy's wild. We about to have to keep this one.
You are listening to the Machine Radio Show with your hosts, Brandon
And Matt.
Talking about a bunch of hobos with fingers in each other's pooper in a stranger's car with talk radio playing really loud. It's going to be a nice evening.
Okay, shit just got real weird. I think I'm gonna need a safe space.
What the? Are those friends of yours, Matt?
Oh, hell no.
Are you sure?
Oh, shut your dumpster and start the show already.
Well, all right, pissy pants. Let's do everything you want to do.
And we're back, and yeah, my alter ego hung way low. No, see, I'd be more like Chief Swing Low Dangle. and no, I Angie, I don't wish. Just remember, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not packing. I'm not. You know, I'm hung like a baby. And no, I don't mean 8 pounds 7 ounces and 22 inches long. I mean just hung like a baby. When I lay on my stomach, I'm 2 inches from the ground. Just remember, it's like a cheese wheel. I got a short dick, short, thick dick. I may not choke you, but you're going to get a mouthful. How many other one-liners can we throw in here? Seriously, I could probably, yeah. It's like a short stack of dimes. I mean, sometimes when it's cold, I got to put my finger in my ass to make him surprise and pop out. I mean, I accidentally circumcised myself just trimming my pubes. Just saying. Okay. Hey, we have a good time on this fucking show. If you don't like comedy, don't come back. Are we not, you know, we got people that listen because they want to know what kind of fucked up shit we're going to say next. I mean, and this is part of it. I use a pull string in the winter. Well, you might, you know, I actually thought about, you know, kind of put a loader out on there. It's not pull starting a lawnmower today. Oh, shit. Okay, so do you think we should just get into the fucking audio bites now?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are going to love this because this is fucking classy. Actually, Matt and I spent a little bit of time laughing our asses off before the show even started. Hold on, I gotta get. There's two of them I want to get put up here. Shit. Oh, this one. I want that one next. Give me a second. I gotta set the show up. Because trust me, this is gonna be worth it. Yeah, we're gonna use that one too. Let's see what else. Ah, fuck. I screwed up. Hold on. I screwed up and got the wrong one. I gotta go back.
What?
What? I fuck up sometimes.
What?
It happens. I fuck up. Okay, so Matt and I was talking about some shit a while back, and I found some audio bites about this. The first one is, well, the girl says that fat phobia is, and you'll be surprised at what she blames it on. So we're going to start with that. Trust me, it's going to be interesting. Hey, I've got all the social medias, like almost all of them, because I got to, deal with the show and my business. So I have to play nice sometimes, but usually I go scorched earth. Yeah, you got to. Okay, let's just get with the audio, huh? Because you guys aren't going to believe this shit.
The short answer is yes. But to explain why, I would invite you to think about a couple things. Why do you not want to be fat? And pretty much any answer you can give would be based in fat phobia. If you don't view fat as a bad thing, then why would it matter if you are? And as far as losing weight for health reasons, a lot of that is based in fat phobia as well. The BMI itself is a racist and inaccurate tool.
Okay, she said racist and inaccurate tool. She's an idiot. There's nothing racist about it, but it is an inaccurate tool, and we talked about this.
Yeah.
I'll use myself as an example with the whole fat phobia thing. Okay, when I went to boot camp, they decided because of the BMI, because of the body mass index, that I was barely 5'6" tall and weighed 172 pounds when I walked into boot camp, that I should be a diet recruit because they said, and I quote, "You need to be 155 pounds." I got in trouble because I tried to explain to them that I haven't been 155 pounds since I was in 8th grade. For those of you who don't know or can't tell by the camera, which is almost impossible, I'm actually, for being a short guy, I'm a fairly good-sized fucking dude. I'm pretty damn thick, am I not?
Mm-hmm.
My shoulders are very wide. My legs are very big. I have not been, it's not possible for me to reach that body mass index. So this is where I agree with her partially about, because 3 weeks in, the battalion captain comes in and he wants to check the diet recruits, and he puts us all on the line, and I'm one of the last ones. He comes up and he stops and he just looks at me. He's like, he looks at the drill instructor and he looks at the tag on my shoulder and he looks at me again. He goes, "Come here." And he asked the drill instructor, he's like, "Why is this man a diet recruit?" He's like, "Well, sorry, he didn't meet the the body mass index. He's 5'6", and he came in at 172 pounds." He kept looking at me. This is 3 weeks of being basically on water and fucking salad, and he keeps looking at me. He's like, "Let him eat. If we took him if we went to the Crucible today, it would probably kill him. He has no body fat left." He goes, "He looks like he just came from out of Auschwitz." He's like, "Let the man eat." And they actually tried to argue with it a little bit. He goes, "Listen," he looks at me and he asked me questions. He asked me like what I did when I was like, "Well, I did a lot of bodybuilding and I played a lot of sports and everything else like that." He goes, "Okay, so you're a gym rat." I'm like, yeah. And he made the comment. He's like, he looked at this drill instructor and he's like, "You're what, 5'9", 5'10"? He goes, "No, 5'11". He's like, "Okay, you're 5'11", and his shoulders are wider than yours. This is not normal for someone like me. I walked around at basically at 170 pounds most of my life. Now, they got me down to 164, and I looked sick. I mean, they said I looked really, really sick. My face was so drawn back and everything, it was horrifying. They put me back on regular food, and lo and behold, I started gaining weight back, but I wasn't any bigger. It was just, I was getting that mass. Your body needs it to a certain extent, but it doesn't need the amount of flubber that this particular person has. But so I can agree with her on that part. It's actually unrealistic. But what I'm saying is, if it says, okay, you're 5'6", you need to be 155, 160 pounds, I would say you should be healthy at 170, 175 pounds. You get any bigger than that, then you're starting to look at certain aspects of your life.
Right.
Like right now, me and Matt just talked about this. When I stand up, I don't look like I'm carrying the weight that I'm carrying. I weigh 200 pounds. I don't look like I weigh 200 pounds. But so that's the only part of the body mass index or anything I'll agree with. But the whole racist part, seriously, can they not come up with anything else? And it doesn't get any better than this. We got 29 seconds of her left, and then the next one is our favorite one.
There have also been a lot of inaccuracies in the way that we research fatness in general. Developing healthier habits for your life is not the same as intentional weight loss. If I decide to eat healthier and nourish my body better, there are good chances that I would lose weight. The focus becomes more on adopting healthy habits than what your weight is. People think that striving to be healthy is the same as striving to not be fat because of fat phobia.
That's not true. Striving to be healthy, if you are morbidly obese, is in fact fixing the problem. There's a lot that we can get into on that, and I'm not, technically not fat shaming anybody, but I'm sure somebody's going to get upset.
Oh, you know it.
You're going to grill Tino's balls. Well, that would probably be a blessing. He might like the touch. I don't know. Those guidelines are kind of BS. You can look at someone and tell if they're healthy. Right. I mean, I can stand up right now and I'll ask you, do I look 200 pounds? And you're more than likely going to say no. If you stood in front of me in person, you'd be like, there's no way in hell you're 200 pounds. I still get that even, my own wife didn't even think, I told her, I said, I weigh 200 pounds. She goes, what? It's like 200 pounds. How? I was like, I don't know where it goes, but it's here somewhere. But the next audio bite is almost as astonishing as the last one. This one is actually you go from 0 to fucking 100 real quick. Now this one I'm going to be cracking some jokes on. I'm sorry, it's going to happen.
Science doesn't exist.
Science doesn't exist.
Science doesn't exist.
We're not even 2 seconds in, and we already heard science doesn't exist. No, it does. In fact, it's the basis of a lot of things that she doesn't understand about, including this. Yeah.
I have a master's degree in this.
Bullshit. I call complete bullshit on that. There's no fucking way. Hey, Jeremy, how's it going, man? It's good to see you. Nobody accepts having to hold themselves accountable for anything these days. Absolutely. It's going to get worse, Christina. Wait till you hear this.
I get very angry when people start promoting diets in their lives. And I have to go. I can't be around it. I am a fat person, and you're attacking me by opening your mouth and saying...
Actually, the only thing that was attacking her is the fat cells because she opened her mouth a little too much. Matt has seen the video. He knows what this woman looks like. For crying out loud, her fucking shoulders are above her earlobes. It's...
One crazy ass bitch.
And it gets worse. Mm-hmm. It gets far worse.
Saying shitty things about your fat body.
Well, yeah, I say shitty things about my fat body all the time.
Be careful on what you say and what you are perpetuating. Because it's all tied to racism.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Everybody knows you never go full retard. You went full retard, man.
And eugenics. You're
Oh.
being a racist when you start promoting weight loss.
I
How?
don't think that would classify as racism.
No, it's racist to say that somebody is morbidly obese, and that woman is beyond morbidly obese. I forgot to grab the other clip. We need it now. I forgot what I named it. I think I named it that. I don't know. Oh, come on. Yep, there it is.
Well, I like how she's like, I have a master's degree in it.
In
It's
what?
like a master's degree in what? Bullshit.
No, she's a master at something, and it's called eating. Fucking, you know, I'm wanting to know if her screen name is Little Debbie.
No, Big Deborah.
Are big, healthy, husky, fluffy, and damn, the new level's called Oh Hell No.
And she is the fucking last one.
Hell no.
Like I said, her shoulders were over her earlobes. I've seen a lot. And I'm not... Okay, I'll admit, I am fucking poking fun at this bitch because she's clinically insane. She thinks it's racist to say that, you know, you might want to lose a couple pounds. And we're not done with her yet. It's going to get interesting.
Promoting weight loss. I said what I said. It's the truth. Stop it right now. If you care about
calling
me,
in.
if you care about fat people, if you care about yourself.
I'm playing an audio clip. What do you want?
Oh, sorry. You're playing real fat shit, and I'm the fat guy. I got to be in on this.
Well, hold on. Well, you're going to have to fucking wait now. We're playing an audio clip.
Fat, you're fluffy.
Well, fine. I'll wait.
No,
Damn
see,
it, man.
you're like in the mid-range. You're fluffy. You're not
fluffy.
fat.
Well, I'm between husky and damn, you know.
Yeah, but this bitch is hell no.
I know where I'm at on the scale, damn it.
You will stop. You will stop right now.
I will?
I had to leave Alive this morning because they're all talking about diets and, oh, you got to do what you got to do. And you got to listen to your doctor. Your doctor's lying. But you don't question it because they got the white coat. They know. They must know. No, the diet culture informs doctors.
Jesus.
God damn, that's a big fat ass.
No. No, you like I say, you don't understand. This woman is absolutely just gigantic. And I'm telling you, if you listen to her, no, well, now it's, you know.
She's definitely, oh, hell no.
Yeah, whatever. What the fuck does dieting have to do with racism? Can you tell me?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. I'm curious. Like, dude, I've been fluffy like
eugenics
all my life. Yeah, I mean, the killing fluffy and killing babies. I don't get it. You know.
Well, and if
Makes sense to me.
Well, eugenics and let's think about the eugenics part for just a split second here. We can go with this. Wouldn't it be more beneficial to the person pushing eugenics to make you fat? Because you're going to croak quicker?
Right.
You know, don't believe the doctors because they have no idea what they're talking about. Tell that to the doctor that has to replace your knee because you're not going to be able to get your knee replaced until you lose 500 pounds.
Right. Or to the people who lose limbs because they're diabetic, and there you go.
Diabetic neuropathy, yeah.
Or, you know, hey, you need to start cutting some of this weight out because you have an enlarged heart and it can't pump the blood everywhere it needs to go.
Right. Well,
or, you know, like, gee, my blood is gravy.
Yeah, 48-inch doors. Yeah, does she expect us to make 48-inch doors standard? The 48-inch big doors? Yeah, and
Right.
people, well, and I like it when people complain, well, they go to get on an airplane. They're like, well, you know, it's fat phobic because we have to pay for an extra seat. No, you have to pay for an extra seat because you're going to fucking take it up.
Right, yeah.
I mean, you know.
Is that the biggest ass you've ever seen?
Well, she was doing the video like in her car, and like she was the front seat.
Yeah, you couldn't.
She was both driver and passenger.
Yeah. Yeah, she was the front
Damn.
seat. Per says, Brandon, why did you weigh so little before you were sick? As I myself weigh 60 kilograms. I don't know what that is in pounds because I'm American. I don't do kilograms. I am a cancer patient. I lost over 25 kilograms when I was cancer sick. That sucks on both levels. But that's not small. At my body frame, 172 pounds is pretty fucking big. And I was also solid muscle. These two heads of cabbage can attest to that.
Shit, like
Yep.
through high school up till like my early 30s, I weighed 120.
Yeah.
And I'm 5'10".
Right.
It's just that's your body makeup.
Yeah.
Damn, beanpole.
I know. I was thin.
Tell Grimace to shut up. Brian says, "Tell Grimace to shut up." You missed the
Grimace, I love it.
Did you hear the part about Grimace?
No.
Oh, dude, you missed part of the show. Then you missed the best part. It was my Wendy's drive-through
Yeah,
experience.
I missed like the first half of it.
Yeah, the first half it was us talking about the Wendy's drive-through experience.
Yeah.
Is she Jean-Claude Van Damme's sister? Only if you try to take her fucking cheeseburger. She's fucking aware. Yeah, she's aware that she can't move around. I can do one-liners all night. I'm telling you, we're getting good at this.
She has her own gravitational pull. She uses a boomerang to put her belt on.
Her blood type is Rocky Road.
When she goes to the movie theater, she gets the whole place to herself.
She doesn't buy clothing. She buys 6-person tents.
Jeremy says it
and
correct.
That's what she wears.
Jeremy says it correct. Her exercise is get junk food and sitting on her ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't think she's actually sitting on her ass. I mean, she could possibly be sitting on her stomach, her fucking cankles. We don't know because there's so much ass covering everything. I don't know if it's actually. Yeah, the fucking calf cut out the middleman. I mean.
No.
How dare you?
But yeah, speaking to a guy on the phone, we call him Ho Ho, and that's not because he likes the fucking snack cakes. It's actually part of his name, but he's right. He's a thicker American. Are you not?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm thicker. Yeah.
We're not saying anything, like wrong or mean or anything else like that.
No.
So he knows what we're talking about, especially health-wise. What was the first thing to fucking happen to you? Diabetes.
Uh-huh.
Diabetes.
And my brother too. Is kind of surprises me.
Right. Yeah, diabetes. But there's that, and like I said, with like surgeries or anything else like that, even they will not do certain types of surgery because you're too fucking fat.
Dude, there's a lot of things that they won't do because you're fat. I mean, shit, like even doing like plastic surgery, like if you lose a butt ton of weight and you want to get, like shit doesn't shrink up the way it's supposed to, not your penis, I mean your belly, and they won't even do a tummy tuck unless you have, a gastric bypass. I mean, there's a lot of shit that they won't do.
Right. Well, and knee replacements, hip replacements, and stuff like that. They are getting very particular about that because one, they don't want to have to cut through the flubber.
Right.
Because it's not, and I'm not. How to put it? It's medically a problem. How's that?
Well, and not only that,
the amount of chances
having that extra amount of weight on you is very hard on your body. It definitely will shorten your lifespan, and they don't view it as a very good investment to put a new knee in somebody who's only going to be around for a few years.
Right.
Yeah, and Christina.
And that's another thing.
Go ahead.
Christina brought up a good thing too. A good point was that going under anesthesia is actually more dangerous when you're overweight.
Because they said it can't actually soak into your fucking system.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
It causes like a fucking narcolepsy, from what I understand. I'm not a doctor.
It's annoying for whenever I first found out diabetic, I dropped, changed a lot of things, dropped a lot of weight pretty quickly, but it didn't have any effect on my blood sugar. In fact, it raised my blood sugar because, hey, guess what's in your fat? Sugar.
Sugar.
Fuck.
Yeah,
damn it, this is bullshit.
Yeah, it's getting it gets insane. But this woman is bad enough. She's one of our favorite patsies right now. But wait till you hear this one too.
All right.
Let me see. Where is it? This woman claims she is a dietitian.
Yeah.
Well, okay, you can't be fat and be a dietitian.
She's not a big woman.
That's like being fat and like, you know, I own a gym and I'm going to be a trainer, a personal trainer. No.
This woman is not a diet, you know, not a big woman. But it's what she says that shocks.
Oh, different person. Okay.
Yes. No, the other woman is just a
She's an all hell no. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Is that the biggest ass you've ever seen?
It's possible. I'm pretty sure she's a candidate for my 600-pound life.
Oh wow.
But I'm not, and that's not a like a haha joke. That is the fucking truth.
Yeah.
She's huge. But anyhow, here we go.
Damn, that's a big bitch.
Yeah, this woman. Oh, you mean this one?
God damn, that's a big fat ass.
Anyhow, this is supposed to be a dietitian. Seriously, 24 seconds of her.
The day thing, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, is from colonialism and white supremacy.
First off, eating 3 meals a day is rooted in some sort of racism. It's colonialism and racism.
That's bogus. They actually tell you, like talking to a real dietitian, that you're supposed to eat 3 meals a day, and you're supposed to eat snacks in between meals.
Yep, you're supposed to eat 5 times a day.
Good night, Sherman. I'll get a hold of you. No, that's what I was getting ready to say. As a
basically supposed to
dietitian,
eat all fucking day.
As a dietitian, she should know this. She should know that 3 meals a day is actually not the best way to do it. It's 5 meals a day, 5 small meals a day. This is what I used to do when I was bodybuilding, when I was working out a lot. I'd eat 5 small meals a day. And 3 times a week, I'd have like a steak or something like that. I would eat fish. I'd eat chicken. I basically eat like I was on a deserted island. You know, how my vegetables were done and stuff like that. They were grilled or very lightly seasoned. Anything else like that. That is what I ate 5 times a day. It kicks your metabolism into overdrive.
Yes, it does.
And your body starts to understand this is good shit. This is bad shit. This is what I need to keep. This is what I need to get rid of. And this is a fucking dietitian talking, and she doesn't understand this. And I picture her as the kind of person that also thinks that yo-yo dieting, which by the way is basically, well, I need to lose some weight, so I'm not going to eat fucking a glass of water and a crouton, per day for like weeks on end.
And that does more damage than anything else.
I tell that to people.
It
I was like, listen, what happens is you put yourself into almost like a neuropathy, and
but you put your body in a starvation mode.
Right. And what happens? Your body actually swells. It gets edema. It does that. And by the way, that fat actually still builds up.
And then when you start eating again,
you get bigger.
Your body goes, oh shit! I don't know when we're gonna be starved again. Start storing this.
Yes, and then you get bigger. Yeah. I explain that to people
because your body consumes your muscle and it will store the fat.
Right. Yep. I tried to explain that, but this fucking woman is unbelievable. Let's see. Constitutionalist, do you remember the teacher on South Park? Yes, Miss chokes on a dick. Yep. Okay, we got 18 seconds left of the dietitian.
As if we didn't have enough good reasons to stop letting external cues tell us how to feed ourselves and start listening to our internal cues, here's another one. Now, I don't know about you, but I hate when crusty old white men tell me what to do with my life, or especially tell me what to do with my body. So eat what you want, when you want. There are no rules.
That's a dietitian. She is not capable of doing what she says she is.
I think she's a wannabe dietitian.
Just like the other one has a master's degree in bullshit.
Yeah.
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 I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, because here's what I'm saying from my point of view. I'm a poor motherfucker. So I can't afford to eat well, eat good stuff. So I do have to eat processed shit. Why? Because that's the only thing that's fucking filling and you can afford.
Yeah, exactly, because like good shit is expensive as hell.
Right. And I would prefer it. I would prefer having meat and fish and fucking fresh vegetables all the time. That's because that's what I actually do like to eat. But the fucking foot-long dollar burrito at Walmart is filling, and I can afford it.
Right.
That's just what it comes down to. But some people, I mean, I'm not going to say that all people are like this these three, because there are extenuating circumstances. Some people's metabolism does not want to go forward. But that's a rarity. That's actually a rarity. Yeah. So what do you think about that? Honestly, what do you think about what she said?
Oh, it's complete and utter bullshit. I mean, the short and simple of it. I mean, there's no. It is what she is saying is completely and utterly political. It has nothing to do with science and what is proven to be accurate. It is completely and utterly political.
She's just down to get those likes on TikTok or whatever the fuck she was on.
Right. I mean, it's just another level of wokeness.
You ain't right, sir. I'm sorry, I'm talking to Brandon.
The chat room. Somebody in the chat room, ho said, "Raise cats, eat pussy." And I put at the bottom, tastes great, less filling. I never said I was right, okay? We were talking about mental illness earlier, and I'm pretty sure I've got something. I just don't identify as a fucking
I know
turnip.
I do.
We all have a little mental illness.
But see, that's the thing is, in our defense here, and all three of us, I normal people scare me. They have something to hide.
Oh, they terrify the shit out of me. That's why I won't do drugs, because I'm afraid it'll make me normal. Because I'm crazy enough on air, so I'm afraid that drugs will make me normal, and that terrifies me. Nope, no thank you.
Dude, you know how many times a fucking week I get somebody says that, like you're on some sort of drugs. I'm like, no, this is me normal.
This is all natural.
Dude, I have been accused. Okay, Fluffy. I've been accused of being on crack. I looked at the cop dead in the face and said, "Does this look like a crack whore body?"
Yeah, you don't have sores across your face. You aren't 110 pounds.
Yeah, I may be on, like, I may be smoking pot. I mean, I got the munchies. Okay, sure, I'll go with that. But crack? No.
You have at least 5 normal teeth, natural teeth. And
natural teeth, yeah.
Maybe 4.5.
Well, it's better than 3.5, which is the woman from the fucking Wendy's incident. Yeah. As soon as I told it to Matt, he's like, we're saying that on air. It's happening. Let's see. I'm trying to find something to play for break so we can take a quick break. We've been on here for a while. Nothing just jumps out at me.
Drone says she isn't very good at her job.
I'm just trying
to fucks at her job.
Well, and the one that says that she has a master's degree, she doesn't say a master's degree in what, and I'm guaranteeing it has nothing to do with being healthy.
Right.
Okay, I don't know what to play.
Oh, that's like this one, the dietitian that says it doesn't matter what you eat, yada yada blah blah. That's somebody who's like Dr. Fauci, somebody who's not an actual doctor, that does everything based off of politics and doesn't have any real world application for the bullshit that they talk about.
Hey, 1 second, I got to reply to somebody in the chat. That is not the phone number that he's calling in on is not a cell phone, and we cannot get text messages on it. It is actually a landline. Like I said, I'll figure out how to get it to you. We'll figure it out one way or another. I'm not going to put my cell number out there in the chat room, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Well, it's already widely known, but I don't need to give any people any more ammunition. But hang on a moment, sir. We are going to take a break.
Okay.
I'm just a thorn in your side, the disrespect in your eye. I can't control myself. I'm like the snake in your drain. I'm taking over your brain, 'cause I can't help myself. Every time I turn my head, I can hear everything that's said. I know they wish I'd go away. Call me the jackal in the heat, the blackest cat on the street. You better watch yourself. A hand grenade with no pin, a razor blade going in. I'm going straight to hell. Every time I turn my head, I can hear everything that's said. I know they wish I'd go away.
You, sir, are not one of my vassals. Who are you?
I am the machine. What? I'm the machine! Okay!
You are listening to the Machine Radio Show.
Not your daddy's conservative talk radio.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
I'm the machine! Fuck that bitch. This is... Tonight you party with us, yes? Okay! Yeah! Yeah! Ah, skate, 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 skate!
And we're back. And that was really all the audio we had for the night, and we've only got so many minutes left anyway, so we can just do whatever the fuck we want. But, which, hey, wait a minute, we can do whatever the fuck we want anyway.
Right?
You know, I had to remind people, Mr. Ho-Ho, that I'm not going to change the format of the show to suit their needs.
You still have people complaining about that from time to time?
Yes.
What was their complaint this time?
I didn't use enough QAnon pages.
No, what the fuck?
They apparently were mad because I used verifiable information with actual research as opposed to a random unpublicized comment.
I didn't think QAnon was even around anymore.
Oh, they're still going. Huh. They still going, yo. But no, yeah, I get targeted for that all the time. I finally blocked one dude on TikTok because of it. I was telling him about that at the beginning of the show, where a guy was telling me that well, he said a lot of random things, but he said I was a know-it-all, and I was like, no, that's impossible. I don't know everything. It's just physically impossible.
Ow.
But I do know a lot.
Right.
Especially on the subject that he was talking about. And of course, it didn't take long. I asked him point blank, I said, "You're one of those QAnon guys, aren't you?" And he wouldn't answer, but he kept saying that all my information was wrong and that I was that I've been spewing disinformation. I'm a shill. I'm like, well, prove me. Prove. That's what I am. Prove it. Tell me what I am, and then back it up. And he couldn't. I was like, see, you said that, or he called me something about it being an asshole. I said, yeah, but this asshole uses factual evidence to back up his claims.
Right.
And that's all I said. You know what's funny, Christina, is I actually got some, Christina says mostly feds now talking about the QAnon pages. No doubt. But I was actually called a fed by someone who calls himself a patriot because I knew something that they didn't, and it had to do with Ukraine and Russia. Talking about he's one of those ones that thinks Russia's so swell, and that Putin's fighting the man and doing the great thing. And when I told him and gave him the information about the opposite of it, and saying no, this is what he really is, and this is what their history entails, and everything else like that, he called me a fed. He didn't even know that. Wow. Well, this is why he called me a fed, because he said they're not communist. I was like, yes, they actually are. The Russians are communists. In fact, they invented this shit in 1922 under fucking Lenin. And he's like, right. Oh, you're a fed. I'm like, so I guess since you call me a fed, all feds are intelligent in some way, shape, or form, because they knew that the communists were Russia and they invented communism through Karl Marx. Yeah, okay. Tomorrow, July 14th, Crown Princess Victoria's birthday will be celebrated here in Sweden. Sweet. That's awesome. But yeah, Christina, I've been called that. I've been called a fed because I knew something that they didn't, which was that communism was invented in Russia under Lenin through the teachings of Karl Marx.
How stupid are some people? Oh, pretty damn. Never mind.
Well, yeah. But where he lost the argument completely is he started basically saying QAnon taglines like the CIA is child trafficking in Ukraine and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, wait. Let me guess. They're organ harvesting too. And first it was they were harvesting organs from children in the Donbass region to, oh, well, they're kidnapping Russian soldiers and harvesting their organs too. I'm like, okay, what else? He was saying, I was like, let me guess, this is all the shit. Well, the CIA is like, shut the fuck up. I finally told him, I said, just shut the fuck up. You're not going to get any farther. You're saying the most dumb, asinine shit. And I was like, by the way, the only source for anything you're saying is the Kremlin. That should tell you something. If not a single country in the entire world, other than that one, is telling you something, you probably shouldn't be believing it.
You know, and that's some of the crap that, you know, Russia says to try to justify what it is they're doing.
Exactly, and that's what it started
And
out
they've been
as.
doing that through the entirety of this war. Saying shit, blaming Ukraine on things just to justify them being in there.
Oh,
That's it. That's all there is to it.
First it was fighting the Nazis. We're refighting the Nazis. You know, that was the first one, and then it was child trafficking, then it was biolabs, and then it was this, and I was like, holy sweet Jesus, are people believing this? And I look out and I'm like, holy fuck, people are actually believing this. Oh, it's just getting good. You know, I'm like, wow. I was like, hold on a second. I was like, first things first. It's like the whole Nazis pot. They're how does one fight Nazis with Nazis?
Right.
Because the Wagner Group, which is actually pronounced Wagner.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Prigozhin is a Hitler fan. His entire organization, which is in their mission statement, their whole thing, their whole get little talking points there, is to be based off of the Waffen SS. So,
but that's not Nazism at all.
No, so I gotta ask, how do you fight Nazis with Nazis?
That's a good question.
Also, half of the, or actually 3/4 of the service emblems that they're complaining about. Oh, they're using the Death's Head. The Death's Head's the SS. I'm like, no, the Death's Head was from World War I. And like, well, you know, the this and the runes, and I'm like, that is the Norse paganism. I was like, holy fuck you. But, you know, trying to explain to them at all anything about what's going on, especially about what Putin said before, that's playing out now. In the 90s, mind you, when he first got into government, he said that he was going to return all the former territories to the Soviet Union, to Russia. Which includes who?
Ukraine.
Uh-huh.
And Poland.
Latvia, Bulgaria, Belarus. Belarus is fucking Russia's lapdog anyway. That guy's all butt sucking fucking Putin's dick.
Yeah, right.
You know, Czech Republic. We can just start naming off all the fucking territories. But they don't understand that. It's like he even had a special word for it. It's called Nova Russia or New Russia. New Russia is the old USSR. Mm-hmm. And I prove this with beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is what's going on. And they're still like, no, that's not what's going on. You're blinded by your love for Ukraine. And I was like, yeah, I know. I didn't mention Romania. And by the way, in one of my videos, I called it Romania on purpose, and people got mad. They're like, that's not how you say it. I'm like, no shit. I was like, one of my buddies is Romanian. He fucking hates it. So every time we talk, I'm like, hey, how's things in Romania? He's like, I'm going to come to the States and stab you. It's just a joke. But he knows it's just a joke. But people on the video are like, that's not. He was laughing his ass off. He's one of the guys in the fucking comment section going, he said Romania. Because he knows it aggravates people. Yes, Christina, I know it aggravates people. But actually, Romania is on my list of places I really want to visit. To be honest with you, it's not just because I know people there. I just want to go. But like I said, just trying to explain to them this, that this is not, it's not what they think it is. This is what's happened in history. And I went back several hundred years. I'm like, this is how these people have been treated. This is what's going on now. Do the math. It is not some sort of weird, wild fucking conspiracy theory about the fucking superhuman trafficking, pulling fucking organs out of babies type shit. It has nothing to do with that. I mean, the fact that you believe that at all is insane. And of course, when they mentioned the Nazi stuff, I'm like, you do realize that about 2/3 of the parliament in Ukraine are they're Jewish. It's like it makes it kind of hard for them to be Nazis. I'm pretty sure that they're not going to want to be Nazis.
Yeah.
Like Zelensky himself is, he's a man of Jewish origin. Do the math here. Do you think somebody who's had family that was killed in the Holocaust is going to be like, yeah, you know what? You guys were fucking awesome anyway, so we're going to use you.
Right.
Seriously, sometimes I wonder if people use their head they need to use their head for something other than a hat rack. Not the pronunciation. If Putin attacked them, that would drive me crazy. Well, Romania would be safe at this point. He would want Ukraine he would want to get back into Poland, and he would want to get into Latvia. There's a reason why he's wanting to go through Ukraine. He thought he was going to be through Ukraine already. In fact, he was dumb enough to actually send a whole bunch of rubles to the main bank of Ukraine because he thought he was going to be able to pay his soldiers for taking over the country. He thought he was going to be welcomed as some sort of liberator. And the 72-year-old grandmother with a fucking AK on her shoulder said, "Fuck you." I still think one of the best videos. It's heartbreaking, but it's one of the best videos. Was of this particular of this grandmother, an actual grandmother, not the one I was just joking about, walking up to a Russian soldier and handing him a handful of sunflower seeds to put in his pocket. And she said to him, "This way, your death is actually meaningful."
Damn.
That was basically, you're going to be pushing the flowers.
Wow.
And remember, one of the chief exports of Ukraine, sunflowers. So that's some savage.
Nice.
Yeah, that's some straight up fucking savage
Nice.
shit. That's beautiful, isn't it?
I like her. That's amazing.
Yes, he does. He's completely covered in them, and so does Prigozhin, or whatever his fucking name is. Yeah, he's covered in the symbols too. But there was one. Let's see. Oh yeah, Putin protester found dead under mysterious circumstances. Well, no shit. Putin is kind of like fucking our Clintons.
Maybe
right.
He
Yeah.
hired the Clintons.
Yeah.
possible.
Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. Right. Yeah.
Right. But it says a Vladimir Putin protester who once threw feces at Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko, fuckface, threw it at his office, was found dead this week under mysterious circumstances after he had talked shit about Putin. No, yeah, the Granny was gangster as fuck. I love that woman. In fact, I hope that that after the video was released, that the Ukrainian government brought her in maybe as an advisor and gave her a fucking, like a mansion or some shit. Because that was Savage Grandmother 101. She looked at a fucking Russian dead in his face and said, "Here, have some sunflower seeds. That way when you die, we have something to fucking use you for." But it's... And of course, first thing, for the other thing you hear, Mr. Ho-Ho, of course, is all the corruptions. All the corruptions. Well, we already know, and we've already talked about that, every fucking government, doesn't matter which one it is, has corruption.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, audit them. That includes the fucking Ukraine. We never said there wasn't. But being extorted...
That government's corrupt as hell.
Right, but being extorted is different than being corrupt.
Yes.
That's something else that seems to be missing from this whole thing is when people talk about Biden's and the Ukrainians, they were extorted by the Bidens. They were not fucking, the majority of what's been released and everything else like that, if you read into it, even on the surface, it is they were being extorted. They weren't willing participants in the ordeal. Especially when it come to, the Ukrainian government wanting to file charges against the Biden son. What did Biden say?
Right.
If you don't fire the guy that's charging go ahead.
Yeah, if you're not going to stop investigating the Burisma, then you're not going to get this money, and I'm leaving in 6 hours, so that's your deadline. Fire him, and they did.
Yeah, that's extortion.
Mm-hmm. And the course of that investigation uncovered enough corruption as it is without it being finished.
Right. But there's a lot of things too that I've noticed that they claim is corruption in Ukraine, which isn't actually corruption at all. What I'm getting at is, them being a young nation, they have to make allies. They were saying that corruption is because they were working with certain countries, or whatever that were in there. But they're the ones that they're talking about, or they're bordering countries. If you're a young nation, what are you going to do?
You got to have allies,
right? But it'll work. Oh, Perm, our friend there in Sweden. What does he say?
I don't know. It hasn't popped up on.
Hasn't popped up on your side. All right. Well, I guess I'll read it then. Well, Christina says, including the White House, they closed the cocaine investigation, couldn't find any leads. Yeah, there's 750 fucking cameras on there, and they couldn't find someone who dropped a bag of dope.
Yeah, exactly.
Per says, here in Sweden, we hate the Russians. They bombed the Sweden during World War II and shot down a DC-3 plane in the Baltic Sea. I remember that, actually. Then those bastards shot down a Catalina plane from the Swedish Air Force. See, nobody likes the Russians. But I'm going to say this though. I'm going to say this very loud and clear. When I say Russians, I mean the Russian government. I'm not talking about the Russian people.
Right.
I've got friends that
Same thing with Ukraine, being against the government. That's not being against the people. That's totally different.
Right. I got friends that are war historians that are Russian. They're in Russia. They live in Russia. They won't even talk about this because they'll get fucking offed. One of them said that very clearly. I can't talk about it, otherwise I can get myself into a hangman's noose situation. That's something very, very specific that they can, they can't talk about this right now. But you're right though. Like when it comes to the Ukraine thing, like I said, did we say that there was never any sort of corruption in there? No, that's wrong. There's corruption in every fucking government. That includes them. Mm-hmm. But what people don't understand is it's not the government that's fighting the war.
Exactly.
It's not the people. It's not the government that's suffering. It's the people. The government, how to even put it? Like I said, there's corruption in all governments. There's nothing we can do about that. We can try and get rid of it. We can try and filter it out, but unfortunately, it's still going to fucking remain. It's just the way of man. It really is. But to have people say and literally believe that an entire country of people should be wiped out because of fake fucking stories, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These people, they're like, well, I have to tell people they're people. They do not want to be a part of Russia. They escaped Russia multiple occasions, and every time they were brought back, and if they were brought back, they were fucking tortured. Holodomor. Sorry, I don't speak the language, but Holodomor. 7.5 million people were starved to death intentionally by Stalin. You know, every time that they declared their independence, every time Russia came back in and said no, and they've always been treated like shit. They've always been treated like serfs. They finally got away. They finally became an actual nation for more than just a couple years. They want to remain that way. They do not want to be a part of Russia. They do not want to be communist. They're one of Europe's only actual democracies. I can't say constitutional republic for them because they're not. They're actually a democracy. But they are still they're freedom loving people and they want to be left the fuck alone. I don't know why this is hard for anybody to understand.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that it would be.
No, and you know the people saying, well, we shouldn't be sending them this, we shouldn't be sending them that. And I was like, yeah, if only the French said the fucking same thing about us.
Right.
Because if it wasn't for the French, I mean, trust me, it's painful to say this. If it wasn't for the French during the Revolutionary War, we wouldn't have a country.
Mm-hmm.
We'd still be British.
Yep. So, just let that sink in a little bit. Did I break you?
No.
We're
talking to me, right?
Yes, you.
Oh, okay.
What's my take on the cluster bomb thing? Christina says, I really don't have much of one on it because I haven't looked that far into it, actually. It's kind of on my list of things that I want to dig into a little bit more. Yeah, cluster bombs fucking suck. So do flechette rounds and fucking white phosphorus. But the Russians have been using that shit since the beginning. Remember, they don't have to go by the Geneva Convention. Something else that people don't understand. The Geneva Convention, figuratively speaking, does not exist in Russia. So they're using all the shit that they're not supposed to be using.
There's a guy, and he was talking about, the Geneva Convention, and it's like, yeah, if we were ever attacked on the mainland, we would more or less be using the Geneva Convention as a to-do list. It's like, yeah.
This is true, but you know who the...
I mean, there's all kinds of shit that we'd be doing if we got attacked on the mainland. We got some pretty ingenuitive people that know how to make, flamethrowers and...
Hey, Christina.
Yeah.
Hey, Drone. We're getting ready to get off here anyway, buddy. It's good. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us once again. Tell 5 people. Tell those 5 people to tell 5 people. Join us. Like and subscribe. Do all the fun stuff. What's your take on the? Yeah, like I said, Christina. I'll get back to you on that. I honestly will, because I wanted to look into it myself. That was just something that was on the list of things that I haven't really gotten into. I've been too busy to look at. There's a few things I want to look into, actually, but just got to find the time. But like I was saying, since the beginning, I mean, they've been dropping flechette rounds. Flechette rounds are horrible, horrible fucking devices. It's like, think about like basically millions of lawn darts.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's basically what they're doing, and that's technically a cluster munition. It's useful. It blows up and blows, these fucking flechettes everywhere. But they're not supposed to be using phosphorus for a very specific reason. And what are they doing? Anytime that they're getting their ass kicked and they're backing out of a city, they just drop a whole bunch of white phosphorus on it and set it ablaze. So there's nothing left. It's World War II all over and again. If they can't win, they won't play. I mean, and the claim that some people have, they're just trying to liberate Ukraine. I'm like, yeah, they're liberating the fuck out of them. Go ask them.
Yeah.
Hey, good to see you again, Matt. We will see you once again later on, and I think we're going to be done here too. We're 11 minutes over.
Oh shit, you're going to be in trouble.
Yep, I'm gonna get in trouble. But yeah, we'll end it there. How's that?
Yep, sounds good to me. You have a good one, sir.
All right, you have fun. Take care now. Bye, Dan.
Bye.
Take it easy.
And on that note, people, we are out of here. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us once again, and we are the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Just leave you guys with one thing to think about. If you wish to move mountains, you must first start by moving stones.
Okay, Confucius. All right, we're out of here.